Pandas tips and tricks. In this video, we are going to tell you some really quick, interesting, and useful tips and tricks which you can use in Pandas, and that's really going to be very useful. So, hello everyone, welcome to Learnerea. And to understand the concept very clearly, please watch the video till the end. Once you are done with watching the video, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe and hit the bell icon. Well, here we have imported both of these two libraries, which are Pandas and NumPy. And here we have imported one table which is called tips and tricks, that I'll be providing you a link from where you can download this data. That will be our GitHub page link, and you can use that to download the data. Now let's go ahead and see the first tips which we're gonna learn today. That will be on how to change the case of these columns. So in this data frame, like you can see, the column names are written in capitalized each word kind of case, right? Now what if you want to make all the column names in upper letter? How can you do that? So for that, you don't have to do much. Just say df dot columns dot str dot upper, and that's it. So like here you can see that it has capitalized each of the word, but this does not look what you actually need. So that's why we just need to replace the data frame as well. All right, and then it will be done. So here, to replace that, you're just gonna say df dot columns, and then you run it. Just give me a second, I'll just make a fix of it. Let me repeat this once again. Here I'm going to say df dot columns dot str dot upper, and this I will assign in df2, and let's see what I have. Df dot columns, and let me just print df. Like you can see, all the column names have been converted in capital letter. Same thing here we will do for lower letters. Let's say df dot columns, again df dot columns, and then str, then lower. This is the function which I have covered previously also, but those were for row values. Now again you can see everything has been converted in lower letters. Now let's see what next do we have. Next, we want to replace any letter word in a column's name. All right, so all of these columns are there. Now let's say here we have blank spaces. Now we want to replace that with underscore. How can we do that? Right, so let's do that. Df dot columns again, and then again df dot columns, and then str, then replace. In the bracket you're gonna put the value which you want to replace, and then the value with which we want to replace it, and then I'll print the data frame. So in our case, we wanted to replace blank spaces between two words with one underscore thing. So that's what we just did. If you want to with an @ that you can also do. Okay, so previously it was that, now it can be replaced. Previously it was space, to which we had replaced with underscore, and now again when you want to replace that, you need to put the, now like again we have @, and now if you want to replace @, then you need to do this thing. So this is how you can use str functions to replace or modify the column names as per your need. Now the next problem statement which we're gonna do is, for example, here we want to create counter variable basis on the gender column, so that you can see for how many rows are there for each of the genders. How can you do that? So let's try that. For that, I will create a new variable which is called counter, and in that I would say df dot group by, in the bracket I would provide the column basis on which I want to create the counter gender. All right, and then I will say come count. All right, and then I will print df. Woo. So it has been created over here. So like here you can see female, this was the first entry, so it says 0. Male, it was first entry, then here it says 0. When the moment when gender changes, it will be reset to 0. As of now it is not clear. Let me do a sorting of this data. To sort that, I have created a separate video to which you can watch using the link showing here at the upper right corner, and we will also provide those links into the description section that you can use to watch that. Sort values, we're gonna say sort values, and we're gonna provide the column name which will be gender. Something went wrong. Gender spelling is not correct, so let's see that. Now you can see it starts with female, so the counter starts at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The moment gender changes, it is reset to 0 again. If you want to start the counter from 1, then what you can do is just say +1, so that will start from 1. Now if you want to include more than one column, for example you want to do it basis on counter type as well as gender, then you need to provide both of those columns over here. So let me do that for you here, and let's see that. So to make it very clear, I'll have to put this here as well, and let me show it to you. So first it is this starts with this combination, female and member. Female and customer type should be member, then 1, 2 and 3, and 4 as well. But here gender remains same, but this customer type changes, but that's which changes the category of the combination of these two tables. So that's why it is again reset to 1. Same here male changes, then again starts with 1, 2, 3. Again customer type changes, then it again reset to 1. This is how you can use this cumulative count function to create an incremental variable. Now next we're gonna see how to create cumulative sum. For example, here we have unit price and we want to sum the unit price. We want to have a column which will have cumulative sum for this unit price, right? And that should reset when the gender changes. So again we're gonna do the same thing. We will create a variable df. Inside this we will create a counter, and then again we're gonna say group by, and in that we will provide a column which is called gender, and then we will say come sum. Okay, and then we will print this. So like here you can see, again let me do a sort of this so that it will be clear to you. Sort values, and in that we're gonna put the by variable which again will be gender. So now you can see here it starts with female, then the value is same as unit price. Second entry, it's a sum of 54 and 93, that is 148. Then again it's a sum of 148 plus 40, that is 188, right? So that's how it will be increasing, but the moment gender changes, it will again reset to the original value. If you want to include the other variables, that you can also do, but for that you're gonna just put a list over here, and that you can do like this. All right, here just put that and then run this. So now when you see it changes at the combination, here also let me put that so that it will be clear to understand. When it is sorted, it becomes easy to understand. However, in Pandas, you don't need to sort the data, but in SAS, before doing such things, you need to sort the data. But here in Pandas, it automatically understands everything. So here the counter will be reset on the combination of these two things, right? Like here, if you see gender remains female, but the customer type changes, then again the value is reset to this original value. So this is how you can create the cumulative sum, cumulative counter, cumulative count to create a counter variable. Next, we will see how to do the slicing and dicing in a text or on a string variable. Let's see that. For example, here we have gender column, and now we want to extract the first two letters of each of these values, or maybe here we want to extract the first four letters of each of the product line, right? How can we do that? For that, we can simply say df subset, and then we will say, now next we just need to put again the variable name for which we want to create this, and then that we're gonna do it on product line variable, then str, then slice is the function which we're going to use. So this is going to be similar to the substr function, substring function, which you have been using in SQL, and in Excel you generally use mid function. So this is going to be equivalent to the substr, substring, or mid function, right? Now what is the thing that you from which place that you want to start to subset? From 0th place. Like we know in Python the offset starts from 0. How many characters that you want to separate? 4. Let's see that. Here you can see subset. In the subset we have the product line, first 4 characters, food, electronic, etc. So this is how what you can do is you can create the abbreviation of product lines. So these were some of the important and quick and useful tips and tricks which we usually require when we are working with the data and doing some sort of math. I just hope that it was useful to you. You find it useful. Just in case of any kind of doubt, please do not forget to put that into the comment section. We will definitely try to get back to you. Until then, happy learning.